Coming up shortly, marks of the week contenders, but two blokes, unfortunately, that won't be amongst it, Rob. Chappie and Jono.
Yes, they went a little bit early, didn't they? And they've had another win down there. I think they've had 22 in a row down there at Skilled Stadium. And, boy, do the Cats love fans love watching those Cats.
Marks of the week, Rob Walls, Michael Osborne.
Yes, that was Friday night, and for a little fella, he can take a big grab.
Next bloke can take a grab too.
Aaron Edwards, and that was a beauty, wasn't it? Up there, just hung for a fraction of a second, and importantly, brought it to ground.
And a big first game from Kyle Hardingham.
Well, first gamer, not only that, he kicked a bag of goals, and Essendon supporters would have loved that. Kyle Hardingham from Western Australia, and I'm going to give the young bomber the mark of the week.
Good on you. Yeah, that's a thrill in his first game. Well done. Mark of the week to Kyle. David Roden, what a story he's been. He was sensational in the showdown yesterday in that last quarter when it started to get a bit tight. He
was, and he's just a great competitor. I think You'd admire him, wouldn't you, Scott? He's not blessed with great natural talent, but gee, he works hard.
Yeah, he does. I suppose when we played them over there a few weeks back, unbelievable work around the clearances, extremely hard to tackle. Almost Gary Ablett-like around the footy with how he's about to brush off tackles, change of speed and that sort of stuff.
Great result, isn't it, having had that last knee surgery. Yeah. You just hope that, as it stood up already, so he's going to be fine. It wouldn't it be brilliant if everyone can use that same surgery and get back in maybe 10 weeks from a knee reconstruction? It'd be fantastic.
What about Josh Carr's extraordinary record? He retired yesterday, last game. Yeah. The showdown record, I mean, it's unbelievable.
I wasn't aware of that, but Josh Carr in those Port Adelaide games against the Crows, he's been in 10 and they've won 10. And why wouldn't you put him in the side? And in fact, it was his last game of AFL football. Premiership player, and then he went back home to Perth, played with Fremantle for, I think, 3 or 4 seasons there. Finished his career with Port Adelaide.
He reminds me of Tony Liberatore, Woolsey. Everyone who played against him hated him. Yeah. He wanted to whack him more than any other player that he ever played against. But you can just tell, Scotty, that his teammates loved him, and you can just see the response that he got. Someone who just actually played with his heart and soul week in, week out.
Yeah, definitely. And I think they could look into maybe rooking him and just getting him back for the showdown.
Yeah.
He's retired if he's got that sort of history.
2-match contract every year.
Yeah.
Great to see Tony Lockett back at the Saints too, who's inducted as a legend into the St Kilda Hall of Fame. Had a bit of a bad trot, Rob, with he had a motorbike accident and really seriously hurt his arm at the moment, so he's struggling a bit, but great to see him back.
Oh, I think it's really good. St Kilda supporters would love that he came back, made the effort to come back down. He lives, I think he lives in Bowral now in New South Wales.
Breeds greyhounds.
Doesn't go to the footy much, if at all, but in the AFL Hall of Fame a few years ago and the St Kilda Hall of Fame.
Danny Frawley's speech introducing you as a ripper.
Looked like a baby, did Frawley. Oh, mate, the hard man from Bungaroo. Fair, think of Sookie.
Cried like a baby, did Spud.
Unbelievable.
Thursday Night Live, you're a big fan, we know, Luke.
I'm not as big a fan as Scotty Pendlebury. He never misses this Thursday Night Live. How about the guests? They just keep getting the big names. Jeff Fennick. Mutai Muralitharan is the man who's just taken 800 wickets in Test cricket, and you don't miss Thursday Night Live ever.
Another break on 1 week at a time. The goals of the week are coming up next, but I'm just going to be a bit preemptive here, Luke. I reckon Mark Lacroix might have it.
It's going to be hard to beat this one.
Keeps it alive.
Alan Didak might disagree with that one, Luke.
We'll see, won't we? After the next break.
Incredible player, isn't he, Mark Lacroix? That's just about the goal of the year tonight. You're right, and he's had 2 disposals tonight, and both of them have just been class all over and full.
We love the Panasonic goal of the week. You got a tough choice this week.
It's a hard week this week. Mark Lacroix is an absolute star. Scotty Pendlebury. This was a brilliant goal, but he's just such a good one-on-one player, isn't he?
Yeah, he is. I suppose there's not much of him, but definitely knows where the goals are.
And your man here, Alan Didak, how about that? Just, you're in good touch when you can show the footy to about 3 or 4 others. And the celebration, we just cut it off, but one of the best celebrations you've ever seen. This is a brilliant goal from Liam Picken too. He's genuinely hard. Head over the footy, burst through a couple, and got some great distance on the kick for another ripping goal. I love Lacroix's goal. I love Picken's goal. but I'm going Alan Didak. I think
that
I'm
is-
next to Scott.
Controversial.
Strong, aren't you?
Goal, Didak.
Yeah, it was a
Can't argue
good
with
goal.
That was a good goal.
Happy with that?
Yeah, very happy with
You
that.
called the Lacroix goal as the goal of the year, though, when it actually
I
happened.
didn't see Didaks at that stage.
okay, all right.
Brad Green got a goal yesterday, Rob, but
Well, it wasn't
a goal.
No, we were in line. We're 150 metres behind him.
We
but
saw
there's-
it 150 to go. He needs OPSM. He needs a sponsor's product, this goal umpire.
It hit the post, no doubt, and the Sydney players, they were dumbfounded. Ty Kennelly said, post.
How's it go?
Irish for post. But
That was a bad blow.
absolutely hit the post, and you could tell from 150 metres away, and he's right under the post, the goalie, so, no excuse.
Someone else who hit the post was Lewis Jetta. He just cannot crack a goal in the big time, can he?
Well, the young Swan, he has
Joe the
kicked...
Goose from Adam Goods.
Yeah, he has kicked no goals this year, and this is his 16th attempt, and he's hit the post. He's kicked no goals, 16 behinds. So big celebrations when he finally cracks it.
The hard questions, Rob. Who, as of July 26, which is today, by the way, wins the flag?
Collingwood.
If you could only pick one of them in your All-Australian team as a small forward, it would be Mark Lacroix or Brad Green.
Well, at this stage, I'll wait and see how they go in the remaining 5 games.
Will Jason Ackermanis get an invite to the Bulldogs' best and fairest?
No.
No? Should commentators be allowed to bet on football?
Of course they should.
How does it feel to be in your 70th decade?
Not good, not good. Thanks for reminding me.
The hero of the week?
The hero of the week is the Western Bulldogs Football Club because they made a tough call knowing that they'd get a lot of flack for it, but they did it.
Quickly, a villain of the week?
The villain of the week is the West Coast Eagles runner who cost a goal, gave Carlton the goal, and that goal cost me the quaddie.
We've got to go. Thank you, Rod. Thanks, Scott. Daniel Gian, Syracuse next week. Good night.